What's going on, guys? Coolie here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video for another Neovision era clear of a trial. Two, actually. So, way back when, FFBE was struggling with creating difficulty for its trials, and then we got the Shinryu Trial, which some of you may remember as the most annoying fight that was ever put in this game. In my opinion, anyway. Shinryu was a fight where you couldn't use Dragoons, who were typically good versus Dragons, because Shinryu would pull them back to the field as soon as they jumped. If they ended a turn jumping in the air, Shinryu would just pull them back. Shinryu also came with a bunch of AoE elemental attacks that could not be covered by tanks. They ignored cover. It's just a very generally annoying fight all around, so way back in the day, I just, one turn KO'd it just for like one of the missions, right? But today I'm going to be showing you how, with the advent of Neovisions and recently Sylvie's buffs, right here, this girl, we can beat Shinryu with all missions in one turn now. Both versions of the trial, that is the normal Shinryu trial and the Scorn of the Shinryu trial. So the team that we have for the first one is Emperor Fu. He's going to be used primarily for filling the evocation gauge after Freya does. So he's got nothing but a Sage's Robe for fire resist, 70%, and he's got Ifrit as his Esper so that he has 100% fire resist, or over 100%. You need that, otherwise you die in this fight. Only one character has to live. It's fine, so any character that you can use to fill evocation all the way up to 10 in one turn is perfectly fine to use. You don't have to use Emperor Fu for that. I'm sure there are other characters that do that by now. Freya, of course, in her normal base form. You're going to want her to start her out in a base form for this fight. She also fills the evocation gauge by 10 as soon as the fight begins. So that's your first Esper fill, and then he'll act as your second. Now, the three things that make this possible are, that we didn't have before anyway, were preemptive covering tanks, right? So Shoreline, Fina, and Daisy come with magic covering as soon as the fight begins. You don't have to cast it first for that first round. Secondly, characters that fill evocation like very quickly is the second part of this recipe, and the third part is, of course, the combination of Freya with her insane limit break power and Sylvie's recent buffs that allow her to fully fill an LB gauge of one ally, increase the damage of it by 200%, while also being able to buff magic by 300% and break spirit by 80%, all in the same turn. Still the most amazing 7-star in the game. And she even was before this. So pretty nuts. So as you can see in this slot, we don't even have, this could literally be anybody, and that's why I picked a 1-star character. Just so that you can see that it really doesn't matter who it is, okay? So let's go to the fight just so you guys can see what you need to do for all the missions. It's pretty easy. So we're going to go all the way down, right? Dragon of the Abyss. Here we go. So, in the Elite Trial, green magic. Evoke Shiva and Ramu, and defeat within 25 turns. So when I originally did this fight when it first came out, I just did this one. The last mission. Because I didn't care about doing the other missions because it was like way too much work for way too short of a fight. And I think Clake and I have actually spoken about this fight a bunch of times about how kind of silly it is that characters that were like naturally good against dragons couldn't be used in the fight, just to like kind of artificially pump up the attack, pump up the difficulty of it, and pump up the while lowering your damage pretty much, because you used to have to gear like your entire team for like water resist, 100% water resist, and at least one character for 100% fire resist, which was usually the tank. But doing that, kind of artificially drops your power because you then lose gear slots to defensive gear rather than attack gear. So it was just a weirdly designed fight. Anyway, we need to use green magic any point in the fight, evoke Shiva and Ramu, and defeat Shinryu's party within 25 turns. So we're going to do all of this on turn 1. And then defeat Shinryu. So we're going to take any character that's got a green magic spell. Doesn't matter who it is. There you go. He's got Deep Protect. Friend unit. Let's take him. It's Jeffy. 'Jeffy, what up, pal? 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 ' So as you can see, FaZe covered the water attack, and we're good, right? So what we're going to do first is, FaZe is just going to summon Shiva, right? Boom. Now Emperor Fu is just going to use Final Imperial Edict, fills the evocation gauge by 10. Then our other character is going to summon Remu. Remember, this could be anybody. Jeffy is going to use his Deprotect with his cloud here. Green magic mission is now done. And Sylvia is going to use double the fun. That's all you got to use is 2 moves. Hop into battle, fully enhanced, right? That is for Luna. So this is the one that buffs by attack and magic by 300%. And reduces defense and spirit by 80%. Defense and spirit by 80% for all enemies. Then, all eggs in one basket. This is her new Magnus ability that allows her to boost LB damage by 200% for a single ally and fill the LB gauge of a single ally to max. It also amps up 3 different elements, but not 3 elements that we're using right now. So 1, 2, 3, right? Done. And then we just Brave Shift and Power of the Hydrian. And Shinryu will be dead. Boom, dead. 546 million damage. You only need to do 300 million damage. And as you can see, everybody will die except for Fu. Fight is over. All missions complete turn 1. So if you've been sitting around waiting to complete this fight, or you thought it was too annoying before like me and didn't really care about it, now might be a good time to revisit it. But wait, that's not all. We're also going to go into Scorn Trial. And we're also going to do this in 1 turn. Now, the Esper requirement is far less on this fight. You only have to evoke 1 Esper. And then no items and defeat within 25 turns. So not really like super intensive missions here. 800 million HP on this one. So on this one, you're going to want to take another Luna Freya, right? So, and we're not even taking another Luna Freya for the LB damage. We're taking another Luna Freya just for water breaks. So I'm going to load this other team, right? And then I'm going to go over it. So we have just OG, Elena, and Axstar. 7 stars. And all they have is a water weapon each. And she, of course, uses the fire resistance with Ifrit as her Esper so that she can survive the final attack. They're going to be doing AR chains to cap off with Luna Freya. Now, same thing here. We have FaZe here with the water resist, 100%. I'm pretty sure she has no equipment whatsoever, none. And then, of course, Sylvie again to do that buff. Make sure you throw an Esper on FaZe so that she can summon it turn 1. So she summons Shiva, that's it. Evoke Esper gauge is Evoke Esper mission is finished. Now Axstar is just gonna set up his AR chain, 30/combo. And Elena, same thing. Blade of the Dawn, just double cast there. Sylvie's gonna set up her buffs on your Luna Freya, boom boom. We're gonna Brave Shift that Luna Freya and set up her LB. And with this other Luna Freya, we're just gonna go into doing some we're just going to reduce water resistance. That's really all we're going to do with her. It's 120%. Obviously, if you have Cacteria, you might want to take her as a friend unit. She's a higher in peril, 135%. And you can do all sorts of other stuff. And you can actually imbue the characters with water instead of using water weapons if you don't have 2 of them. So she's probably a better choice. But for this example, we're just going to use another Luna Freya. Anybody who can break water, pretty much. So we're just going to use Torrent of Purity, nothing else. All right. And then we're just going to get right into the chain. Boom, boom. Bye-bye. It's dead. 1.3 billion damage. Final attack goes off as before. Elena will live. Everyone else will die. And there you go. Both versions of Shinryu beat in 1 turn in the Neo Vision era using Sylvie's new buffs, Luna Freya's LB, and some tactical know-how. So if you've been sitting on these fights, it's a great time to complete them. The rewards are a tad outdated, but do offer very decent elemental resistance, so having them would not hurt you at all. Alright, guys. That's it for this one. I'm going to move on to the next one. I keep saying I'm going to do Scorn of the White Dragon EXT, and I keep forgetting to do it, but I'll get around to it, I promise. Anyway, see you in the next video, guys. Take care.